President Biden today has expanded his efforts to identify vulnerable migrant families in Mexico for entry into the United States. The Biden administration is looking to identify vulnerable families and admit them to the U.S. instead of expelling them under a Trump-era border policy known as Title 42. The policy was enacted at the start of the pandemic, and critics say it puts migrants and asylum seekers in harm's way, exposing them to potentially dangerous conditions in Mexico. Because of Title 42, many migrant families have opted to separate from their children since the rule does not apply to minors. 2 large emergency intake sites in Texas have sheltered unaccompanied children during this year's influx of arrivals. That's going to close by early June, marking some of the first closures as the number of kids in border facilities finally is dropping, which is nice news, hopefully.
Yes.
Hopefully.
Absolutely.
Meanwhile, you know about this guy, Matt Gaetz?
No.
You ever hear his name? Vanessa, you're down. This guy here. Looks like a used car
I'm getting
salesman.
to know all my folks down here.
He looks like a used car salesman, but in fact, he's a congressman from your neck of the woods. He is under investigation, but what is most interesting is he was Donald Trump's #1 supporter in Congress. Who is Donald Trump's guides, or who is his people that were pushing the Trump narrative for 4 years? This guy was up front and center. He was, for all intents and purposes, Donald Trump's lapdog. Well, now, Joel Greenberg, who was one of Matt Gaetz's friends, has agreed to testify in court as he admitted in a plea agreement that he paid a minor to engage in sex acts with him and others. The others include Matt Gaetz, congressman from Florida. Now, Greenberg, he's a former tax collector for Seminole County. He agreed to plead guilty to 6 criminal charges, including sex trafficking of a child, aggravated identity theft, and wire fraud. It comes with a mandatory minimum sentence of 12 years. In exchange, the prosecutors have agreed to dismiss the other 27 counts that would have put the guy behind jail for the rest of his life. They also agreed to recommend other possible sentencing breaks depending on how much he cooperates. The agreement has to still be accepted by the judge. Now let's get back to this guy, 38-year-old Matt Gaetz. He's a Republican.
Yeah.
They call him a close ally of former President Trump. I call him Trump's lapdog. And he is now being investigated by the Justice Department over whether he had a sexual relationship with a 17-year-old girl and actually paid the girl for sex and paid for her to travel with him across state lines. Investigators are examining whether Gaetz violated federal sex trafficking laws. If the facts alleged are true, he absolutely did. Now, the Justice Department regularly prosecutes such cases, and offenders have received very severe sentences. It's been reported that Donald Trump wanted to come to Gaetz's defense, but even Donald Trump knows he can't defend a child. He's not getting mixed up on that. He is staying away from this. So where Donald Trump for years was supporting this guy, you haven't heard a peep from him. Now, Gaetz, he was also one of Trump's strongest supporters. In 2019, he was one of the House Republicans to lead the storming of a classified room to derail Democrats' impeachment proceedings against the former president. If you remember, they were having secret depositions of witnesses in Trump's impeachment before they brought it to the national stage and brought it for the actual impeachment that was the public impeachment, because they were having depositions, just like in a regular trial, private depositions before you go into a courtroom. And Matt Gaetz stormed those private depositions, refused to leave, said this is a banana proceeding, ordered pizza into these depositions. They had pizza guys come. There was a whole tantrum. They stopped the deposition. It was a whole carnival that this guy made just for one viewer, Donald Trump. Donald Trump enjoyed watching his people in Congress go and disrupt depositions of Donald Trump's impeachment, order pizza, ruin the entire day for people who are taking this very seriously. Now,
Why can't politicians keep it in their pants?
Now, I don't understand that. In April, the New York Times' Maggie Haberman said on CNN's New Day that Donald Trump had really wanted to defend the GOP lawmaker, but was told to stand down. Now, some irony in all of this. In 2017, the Senate voted unanimously to pass the Combating Human Trafficking in Commercial Vehicles Act. What that act does is makes it illegal to carry anybody accused who is doing any sort of human trafficking, whether it's sex trafficking, indentured servitude, whatever it is, kidnapping across state lines. It's now a federal offense. One person voted against it. Who? Matt
Was
Gaetz.
it him? Matt?
The man who pays a 17-year-old girl to go, allegedly pays a it's allegations right now, hasn't been proven, but allegedly paid a 17-year-old girl to go on a private airplane with him from one state to the other and paid her to have sex with him. CNN has reported that Matt Gaetz has a habit of showing other legislators photos of naked women on his phone. One source says it is a point of pride. I don't get it. I don't get it.
I don't either.
I don't get it. There's just
Young, he's powerful, 38 years old, that's young.
Yeah, but I mean, 17?
Don't know what to do with themselves.
I don't get it.
Obvious.
The thing is, it's not us. It's not for us to get. Honestly, like, you know, it's just outright disgusting. So we can't get it.
There's just certain things that you don't do. You don't, as an adult, have a relationship with somebody who is a minor. You don't, as an employee in any business, have any sort of harassment or sexual innuendos to another employee. It's taboo. You have to be smart. You have to know not to do it. And people who don't do it just blows my mind. There are so many people of the opposite sex or of the same sex, if that's what you want. There are so many people in this world, billions. You can find somebody always find somebody who wants to be in some sort of consensual relationship with you that's legal.
Yeah.
I don't get the harassment at work. I don't get being with a minor. I don't get it.
It ain't for us to get.
I don't get it.
No, it's just not in alignment with the way we roll here at Bradshaw Live.
It's a 21-year age difference, and I don't have a problem with age difference. I have a problem with the age of the person.
Of course.
I also have a problem with paying her. I also have a problem that that's our leader.
Look at them.
Here in Florida, that's one of my leaders.
Right.
Yeah, and obviously he's voting.
What you left us for?
He's voting against human trafficking.
Right.
Meanwhile, according to statistics from the Johns Hopkins University, the place where we go for our statistics for coronavirus, 161 million new coronavirus cases worldwide. Now, as we mentioned in yesterday's show, people in the United States who are fully vaccinated against COVID do not need to wear masks. That's what the CDC says. But let me tell you what the law says. The law of when you're supposed to wear a mask and how you're supposed to wear a mask is done on the local level. So although, there's a lot going on right now, should we listen to the CDC here in New York, for example? Cuomo and de Blasio have not come out and said it's okay not to wear a mask outdoors. They have not come out and said it's okay if you're vaccinated not to wear a mask. And unfortunately for the people who don't want to wear a mask and who are vaccinated, and fortunately for the people who do want to wear a mask, because you find and still want people to wear masks. And Jonathan and I had this conversation yesterday. So fortunately for you, Jonathan, unfortunately for me, because I think if you're vaccinated, you shouldn't have to wear a mask. Jonathan says you still should have to. Everybody is free to disagree. But at the moment, At the moment, we follow the laws in America, and although the CDC says it's okay, it's your local government that decides what you do. And for example, here in New York right now, they have not said not to wear a mask. They have not
and
said.
I'm just here in the middle.
And you are you are in Florida where anything goes. They don't care anymore. They're in Florida. They didn't care ever. It was a free for all in Florida since the day.
They definitely have been having
Yes.
parties even during the pandemic.
I'm really feeling it here, guys. This is really like a red state. Like, I don't really like to be super vocal on political opinions and things, but it's a very red state. Like, people wear, is it real? Is it not? The mask? Everyone's like, just vaccinate. Like, it's different down here, y'all. It's
But also, Florida's an outdoor state.
Again, then when we've had that conversation a few times and a lot of things are open, like it's a lot of patio.
Yeah, restaurants are open.
Space.
It's a lot of open spaces, and even when you go out to a restaurant at night, there's patios, there's open doors, there's sliding doors, there's air circulating through a restaurant, versus being, for example, in New York or Boston or one of the cold weather states, especially in the winter, where everything is closed. And it's like you have to open one door, close that door, open the second door, so this wind doesn't even come into the restaurant. And what we have learned about COVID, if you believe the scientists, I believe the scientists, COVID is spreads like wildfire inside closed environments where there is no air circulation, and it is unlikely to spread outside just in the wind unless you are talking close proximity to somebody who has COVID. So it makes sense that Florida, even though they were open, had similar infection rates as New York, which remain closed.
Right.
Meanwhile, they're still debating what to do with the Tokyo Olympics. It's up in the air. It's this summer, Tokyo 2020. A doctors' union in Japan has urged the government to cancel the Olympics. Japan on Friday said that they are expanding their coronavirus state of emergency to 6 areas, including Tokyo. And Prime Minister Suga, did I pronounce that right? Suga, repeated his determination. He's having the Olympics no matter what. I've never been to Japan, but that would interest me to go.
Yeah, I actually want to go.
Well, I don't want to go at this moment, but now that I just read about that COVID's crazy there, but I would like to go one day.
Yeah, especially it's like fashion capital.
What about the cherry blossoms? They're known for cherry blossoms in April.
Love cherry blossoms.
I went to Howard University, so I lived in DC for 3 years. So I was able to see cherry blossoms at the Cherry Blossom Festival.
But
so that was
Japanese cherry blossoms?
Not Japanese cherry blossoms. Those are special, supposedly.
I was going to say this was another
tomato,
inquiry.
tomato.
Maybe we would team, but maybe we could just leave Yo-Yo behind, Brad.
Yeah.
Sounds like he's good off the cherry blossoms.
Yeah, you know what we can do is we can do Bradshaw Live from
I'll
the
go to
road.
Jamaica.
Bradshaw Live from the road. Me and Nesquik will go to Japan. We'll broadcast from
And
there.
I'll
But
go
we
to
we
Jamaica.
always need somebody in the studio, Vanessa. So Yo-Yo can stay behind.
Oh, I'm sure I could broadcast from Jamaica. We can make a little.
And by the way, kudos to Yo-Yo because Jilly just told me this, that the cherry blossoms in Washington D.C. that you see in the national park are actually Japanese cherry blossoms that were given to the United States as a gift from the government of Japan.
So I've seen it.
So Yo-Yo's seen it. It is Friday.
Whoa,
that's a new one. Well, hundreds of people recently gathered in a park in Nebraska to engage in an intense pool-noodle brawl over the name Josh. Why? Let's find out. The winner was a 4-year-old Joshua Vinson Jr., who was honored with a paper crown and hoisted in the air for all the Joshes to see. Josh Swain, the organizer of the Josh fight, declares 4-year-old Joshua Vinson Jr. the ultimate Josh. Why? We still want to know why Joshes are fighting with pool noodles. It all started a year ago when pandemic boredom set in and Josh Swain, a 22-year-old college student, bored in his home, living in Tucson, Arizona, messaged some other Joshes on social media and challenged them to a Josh duel. The planning began. Hundreds showed up in Lincoln, Nebraska, a location chosen randomly by the bored Josh in Tucson, Arizona. The festivities started with a grueling and righteous battle of rock, paper, scissors between Josh Swain from Arizona and Josh Swain from Omaha, Nebraska. I have to tell you, Vanessa and Yo-Yo, I don't want to even continue this. Do you want to hear the end of what happened?
You don't want to get into a noodle fight with a bunch of Brads?
No.
There's a lot of Brads out there.
There is a lot of Brads out there. I told you yesterday I met a Brad at Starbucks. We were both happy to see each other. We shook hands and we left. I didn't tell him, let's go fly to Nebraska and let's hit each other over the head with a pool-noodle. That sounds a little extra, don't you think?
Sounds like safe fun, though. Sounds like no one's really getting hurt in the mix of that activity. I don't know.
And they had a 4-year-old Josh that won the competition. It's pretty dope. Brad.
All right. Meanwhile, an Ohio State senator used a virtual background of his home office in an apparent attempt to conceal the fact he was driving during a Zoom meeting. Andrew Brenner might have succeeded in fooling everybody were it not for the seatbelt.
Friday tea.
Were it not for his seatbelt. He was in a Zoom meeting. He's pretending. Yeah, he's pretending. 1 second. He's pretending he's at home because he made a virtual background, and I'm in the Zoom meeting. Hilarious. That's really funny. But he got caught because of the seatbelt. What an idiot! What a dummy! What a dummy! I have to call you out as a big dummy. If you're not, what are you wearing the seatbelt, you dummy? You would have fooled everybody. Oh, yeah. This is the problem. This is the problem we have of the people who are representing us.
No, but look, because I actually read this story. Read towards the end, because I feel like they were like talking about some bill, like a bill, but like kind of ironic what bill they were talking about.
So Brenner denied he was driving unsafely. He was okay. He told the Columbus Dispatch he was not distracted during the meeting. He was paying attention to the driving and listening to the discussion. Now the incident coincided with the introduction of a bill to Ohio General Assembly to penalize unsafe driving. Are you kidding me? This is a meeting about making a law in Ohio for unsafe driving, and this guy's having a Zoom meeting, pretend he's at home driving with his.
Like what?
Come
These are the people that are elected.
Good.
How are these people elected?
Come on, man. The bill that was being debated explicitly was to outlaw texting, live streaming, and taking photos while driving.
It's wild. It's wild.
Meanwhile, if you applied to the University of Kentucky this year, you likely got in. They recently sent out 500,000 acceptance letters to students for admission to its school's clinical leadership and management program in the College of Health Sciences. Obviously, that was a mistake. The students were accepted to the program, which usually only admits 40 students per year, but this year they admitted 500,000 students.
Oh, snap.
Can you imagine you applied and you still got denied? You'd be like, what's wrong with me? I'm the only one who didn't get approved.
Right, that would be real foul.
Yeah, right. You're like, wait a second, all my friends got in but me? What happened?
Is it a system glitch or something?
Yeah.
No, that's crazy.
So Mary Dougherty, a senior from San Antonio, Texas, she received one of the letters. She told WLEX-TV, quote, I was like, Mom, I just got accepted into University of Kentucky. And she's like, oh, I didn't know you applied to the University of Kentucky. And I was like, I didn't. So people were getting accepted who didn't even make applications.
They didn't even apply?
Oh, my God. Well, apparently they have now rescinded all of those people. And they are now going to readmit the 40 that they want to admit. A 4-year-old by the name of Noah Bryant from Brooklyn, New York, recently ordered $2,618 worth of SpongeBob SquarePants popsicles from his mom's Amazon account. Though Noah was probably thrilled to get all of the SpongeBob popsicles, which totaled 51 cases and close to 1,000 individual popsicles. His mom, Jennifer, was not as happy. Now, Jennifer Bryant, the mother, she is the mother to 3 boys and is a full-time social work student at New York University. She didn't know how she was going to pay for these popsicles since Amazon wouldn't take them back. But then one of Bryant's classmates, Katie Schloss, decided to set up a GoFundMe page last week to help Bryant pay for her $2,618 worth of popsicles that her son loves and bought on Amazon. Now, according to an update on the page, not only was the goal of $2,619 met, but they raised an additional $24,000. So 4-year-old Noah can eat popsicles for the rest of his life. No, I doubt that's where the money's going to go. Let's see where the money's going to go.
Teamwork.
Let's see where the money's going to go. Jennifer wrote on the GoFundMe page, "Thank you so much for your mind-blowing generosity and support. We're so grateful to have made back the $2,618.85 in a mere 24 hours. As a parent to a child living with autism, all additional donations will go towards Noah's education and additional support." Oh, okay, they're keeping it. All right, good for them. We can't thank you enough.
Yeah.
All right, good for her. All right, child has autism. It'll go to his support. She's in school. Why not?
Oh, see, there it goes.
Why not?
Listen, that's a blessing. I take that as a blessing.
Yeah. You know what? Yo-Yo's tonight is going to order like $3,000 worth of something and then go on GoFundMe like, "I just bought this. Can somebody fund this for me, please?"
They're not going to be giving me no money.
What would you order of $3,000 quickly?
I was just gonna ask you guys
What would you do?
You guys beat me to it. So, the squad, what would you accidentally order for $3,000? Me and Yo-Yo are gonna look into that in the comment box. But if you guys had to misorder a popsicle, which one would it be? Because mine would be the rocket ship white and blue ones.
Oh, no. Mine off top will be the strawberry shortcake ones, the one with the little crumbles. And it's like,
I'm not ordering popsicles. I'm going right for the Oreo cookie ice cream sandwiches.
Oh, you ain't playing.
I ain't playing. Oreo ice cream sandwiches. You can send me $3,000 worth of them, and I'm not returning them. They're going.
Yeah, I'm returning.
I ain't returning one of them. I'm gonna be like that 4-year-old kid eating them every day. Thanks for watching. For more Brad Show Live, like and subscribe to our YouTube channel.